Welcome to the lecture series Programming in C. Let us learn about the evaluation of expressions in this module. So, evaluation of expressions, precedence of arithmetic operators and the associativity rules. So, in this module we will cover the evaluation of expression, how an evaluation, if it is given, how it is to be evaluated, what are the rules that are to be followed, and what are the precedence or priority, how it has to be given, that we will learn. Also we will learn about the precedence of arithmetic operators, in case if it has arithmetic operators, then how the precedence rules are considered for evaluating the arithmetic operations, and associativity should also be learnt in this particular module. Before going into the actual learning about the precedence rules, let us first work out how given an arithmetic expression can be converted to a C expression. Say for instance, A into B minus C, this is the way that we write the arithmetic or algebraic expression. So, this can be converted into the actual C expression. Instead of this multiplication operator, we will replace it with the star or asterisk operator, which is meant for multiplication. So, we will convert it to A asterisk B minus C, and if it is given with an expression m plus n into x plus y, we will have to replace it with adding the multiplication operator asterisk, and A b by C. This expression we do not have any operator for division like this. So, we will be converting that into A asterisk B slash C, slash is the division operator, and then given an expression with exponentiation. So, 3 x square plus 2 x plus 1, we will be converting that to 3 x star x. Instead of x square, we need to represent it as x asterisk x, and then 2 x plus 1, 2 asterisk x plus 1, and A by B will have to be written as A slash B. Then S equal to A plus B plus C by 2 has to be written as S equal to in parenthesis A plus B plus C by 2. So, why we need to enclose this within parenthesis? If you do not do it, then it becomes A plus B plus C by 2. This will be considered as C by 2 evaluation, and then will be added with A and B. So, in order to avoid that, we will have to enclose A plus B plus C within parenthesis to mean that the addition operation should be done first and then the division operation. And the advanced expressions also we will see. Area equal to square root of S into S minus A into S minus B into S minus C. So, this has to be written in the form of C expression as SQRT. Area equal to SQRT. SQRT is a function to evaluate the square root. SQRT of S asterisk, again as we have already seen, this must be enclosed within brackets or parenthesis. So, S minus A asterisk S minus B asterisk S minus C. Then sine of B by root A square plus B square, again we do not have A square plus B square computation. So, it must be written as A asterisk A B asterisk B, and the square root has to be evaluated using SQRT function, and then sine function will be able to evaluate the whole thing as sine of B slash SQRT of A asterisk A plus B asterisk B. The next expression, if it is having a row value. So, this is a row evaluation. We do in C language, there is no representation of row symbol. So, we are supposed to store the row value into a variable called row x and row y. Similarly, for the tau value also we do not have any symbols. So, it has to be stored in a variable and it should be used as tau. The next expression is also similarly used with the square root. So, it can be represented like this, and the this expression also have a square root, and then the evaluation is squared. I mean, this expression is squared and the square root function is also applied. So, it follows, it uses POW function, power function, to compute the power of this expression as power, I mean square. In case if it has some other power, then this value can be replaced with the power or the exponential value, whichever need to be computed. And the last expression is y equal to alpha plus beta by sin theta. Again we are not having any C expression, C symbols to represent the alpha and beta value. So, alpha and beta value should be stored in separate variables and it should be used in the C expression. Similarly, sin is a function and theta is also a value to be stored in a variable. Okay. And in case if it has to be computed as an absolute value, we can make use of the ABS function. So, for mathematical functions we have certain predefined functions in C language. Those functions can be used from the corresponding header file math.h. And in case if it needs to be stored in the form of a value, we can make use of the corresponding variables to store the values. And now we will learn about operator precedence. Bode-Maas rule, it is got brackets of division, multiplication, addition and subtraction. So, the brackets will have the highest precedence, most priority to be given for evaluating the brackets, and then comes the division, multiplication, addition and finally subtraction. So, this order is followed for evaluating the operators if the expression has the operators division, multiplication, addition and subtraction together in an expression. So, C language uses some rules in evaluating the expression and those rules are called precedence rules, and there is a stringent hierarchy of operations to be followed in case if you want to evaluate the expression on applying the precedence rules. The two distinct priority rules with respect to arithmetic operators in C, the highest priority is given to asterisk, I mean multiplication, division and modulo operation, and then the lowest priority is given to plus and minus. It means that if an expression, if an expression includes arithmetic operators, the highest priority should be given to asterisk, slash and percentage modulo operator, and then the plus and minus operator, if it has any, should be evaluated. So, for following this order or the hierarchy, we use the Bode-Maas rule in case of arithmetic operation. And what are the rules for evaluating the expressions? The first rule is the parentherized sub expression has to be first evaluated from left to right, and the second rule is if parentheses are nested, it means that if it has more than one parenthesis like this, then this innermost sub expression will be evaluated first and then it evaluates the outer parenthesis. The precedence rule is applied in determining the order of application of operators in evaluating sub expressions also. So, if it has the sub expressions nested inside a parenthesis, the same sort of precedence rule will also be applied for the sub expressions. And fourth rule is the associativity rule is applied when two or more operators of the same precedence rule appear in the sub expression, in the sense that if I have an expression like this a plus b plus c minus d. Now, we get a confusion that which order should be followed for evaluating this expression, because both plus and minus are in the same level of precedence. So, in that case, since it has more than one plus operator and there is one subtraction operator also, we will have a confusion that in what order it should be executed. Supposing if the value for A is 1, the value for B is 2, the value for C is 3, and if the value for D is 4. Let us assume that if the given expression is A plus B plus C minus D, I apply B plus C first. So, if I apply B plus C, it is going to be 2 plus 3, I get 5, and then I add it with the value 1, it becomes 6. Okay. Then I apply the subtraction value. Okay. I subtract 4 from this. So, it is 6 minus 4, which is 2. Okay. This is one order. The other order I do as A plus B plus C minus D. I take C and D. C's value is 3 minus D's value is 4. So, I get minus 1, and then I add it with B. If I add it with B, it is going to be 2 minus 1. Then I add it with A. A's value is 1. So, 2 minus 1 I get. So, A value is 1, I get again 2. Okay. But the order of evaluation is different. So, what we are supposed to do? We are supposed to know, even if the operators are going to be in the same level, then what order has to be followed for executing these operators. That order is what is called associativity rules. And the fifth step is arithmetic expressions are evaluated from left to right. It means that the associativity of arithmetic operators are left to right. When parentheses are used, the expression within parentheses assume highest priority. As we have already seen, the inner parenthesis has to be executed first, then the outer parenthesis. Then we will see the hierarchy of operators with respect to the arithmetic operations. So, the first set of operators are parenthesis and array elements, if it has any, within square brackets, which will be executed, and the associativity of the operator is left to right, in the sense that if the expression has more than one parenthesis, then it should follow the order of executing from left to right. The similar way, all the unary operators are in the second level of priority. All the unary plus, unary minus, increment, decrement, logical negation, one's complement operator, pointer references, addresses, all these operators will be having the next priority. The associativity is right to left, in the sense that if I have more than one unary plus or more than one increment and decrement operator, the associativity should be followed is from right to left. Then multiplication, division, modulus operator from left to right. So, similarly, we have a list of operators and its order. So, postfix increment, postfix decrement operators has more priority, the associativity is left to right, and postfix and prefix size of operator asterisk slash asterisk, ampersand, plus, minus, tilde, not operator, all these operators has the associativity right to left, and then typecast operator. Then we have asterisk slash percentage, that is arithmetic operators, which has the associativity left to right. All the arithmetic operators has left to right associativity, provided the hierarchy is 2 levels. Left shift, left shift and right shift, bitwise left shift and right shift has the next priority, which is left to right again. And we have relational operators of the next level priority as left to right, associativity is left to right. Then we have equality operators, equal and not equal operator with the same associativity rule to be left to right. And we have all the bitwise and bitwise exclusive OR, bitwise inclusive OR, logical AND, logical OR, and then conditional operator, and at the end we have all the shorthand assignment operators. It means that after evaluating all the operators, the last operator which is evaluated will be the assignment operator with the associativity to be right to left, and at the end we have sequential evaluation, that is comma operator, which separates the statements. So, after storing or after evaluating the expression, the value will be stored onto the variable, and then the next statement is differentiated with the comma operator. I want you to keep in mind the order and the associativity rules, so that it will help us to solve the executional order. So, let us do a small task. We are supposed to label the execution order for the following expressions. So, let me know what are the order that we will follow for executing the first expression, which has all plus operators. All the operators are plus and it is all in the same level. So, if the arithmetic plus operator all are in the same level, we will have to follow the plus operator is here and the associativity rule is left to right. So, we will follow left to right execution. So, the left to right, this will be evaluated first and this will be evaluated next, and this will be evaluated, and then fourth this will be evaluated, right. We will go to the next expression. In the next expression, it includes plus, minus, asterisk and slash. Okay. We will go back to the associative rules. So, here asterisk and division has got more priority compared to plus and minus, and also the associativity is left to right. In case if we have the operators in the same level, more than one operator, we have to go from left to right. So, let us now sequence it. So, the first operator to be executed here are star and slash. Star and slash have more priority compared to plus and minus, but we have asterisk and division, both the operators in the same level. So, we will now go with the associativity rule. So, left to right. So, left to right, so first operator which will be evaluated with will be asterisk, and then the division operator. Actually, we need second operator will be the slash operator which will be evaluated, and plus and minus now have the same priority. So, we will be again following the left to right associativity. Done. We will take the next expression. Next expression has slash, plus, plus, modulo, right. So, we will go back to the table, asterisk, division, modulo are in the same level. So, division and modulo are in the higher level, okay. But then we have another parenthesis here. So, on the parenthesis have highest priority to be evaluated, what irrespective of the order of the operators. So, we will first evaluate the parenthesis and then we will have to come to the same order again. So, slash will be evaluated because the associativity is left to right, and modulo operator will be then evaluated because it is in the first level, and then we will evaluate the plus operator. Okay. For the last expression, if you see, it has nested parenthesis and sub expressions. If there are nested parenthesis and sub expression, that will be given more priority. We have learnt that. So, this will be evaluated first and there is one more nesting. So, this will be evaluated next, and there is one more parenthesis. So, this will be evaluated next, and then it goes with the last, right. We will see and compare it with the answers. You are right. So, our answers are correct and the execution order we have followed applying the operator precedence rules and associativity rules, it is all correct. So, we will take one example now. We are supposed to evaluate x1 equal to minus b plus square root of b square minus 4ac by 2a. Okay. So, this formula you might have learnt. So, we are given with the values of a to be 1, b to be minus 5 and c to be 6. Then how and which order we are going to follow for evaluating this expression, right. So, which is the operator which will be first evaluated? Of course, the parenthesis, right. So, if we see the parenthesis, inside the parenthesis we have one more nested parenthesis. So, the nested expression should be evaluated first, right. So, we will evaluate the nested expression first by substituting the corresponding values for b, a and c, right. Okay. On evaluating that, what is the next expression to be evaluated? The outer parenthesis. For evaluating the outer parenthesis, we will have to evaluate the square root also and the values to be substituted, right. Also, we have one more parenthesis after the division operator that can be again evaluated separately, but the division operator has to be evaluated as a last operation because we are supposed to give most priority to the parenthesis. So, at the left part we have a parenthesis enclosed statement and at the right part also we have parenthesis enclosed expression. So, these two has to be evaluated and then finally, it goes with the slash operator to do the division operator. Ultimately, you will be able to evaluate the expression and get the correct results. Okay. We will take the second example. We are supposed to evaluate an expression b equal to a minus plus a when the value of a is 4. Okay. So, which has to be first evaluated? The increment operator has to be evaluated first because it is a unary operator which has to be given highest priority. Okay. So, on evaluating plus a, since it is a pre-increment operator, the value of a will be incremented and substituted. So, we got the value to be 5, right, and then we go with the binary minus which subtracts the value of a, 5 from 5 and we get the answer to be 0. So, on summarizing the precedence rules, we will be now be able to evaluate the expressions. When an expression is given, how to evaluate the expression? We have learnt the rules to be followed, precedence rules to be followed for evaluating the arithmetic operators. We have seen the precedence table of including all the operators on which the parenthesis operator carries the most priority, and then comes the arithmetic operators, then relational operators, then bitwise operators. Also, if both the operators or if more than one operator in an expression are in the same level, then we will have a confusion that which operator has to be evaluated first. In order to solve the ambiguity in executing the expression, the associativity rules should be added, should be applied in case if more than one operator are in the same level. So, the associativity rules will resolve the problem of which particular operator has to be solved if both the operators are on the same level. That depending on the operator's type, the associativity rules differs. Say for instance, arithmetic operators will have the associativity property from left to right. So, on applying the associativity rules, the compiler will be able to clearly execute the expression and we can understand how the evaluation of the expressions are being carried out. If an expression is given in the form of formula or as a scientific expression, we need to first convert it into C expression and then we have to evaluate it. So, thank you so much for learning or observing the evaluation of expressions with respect to precedence and associativity rules.